behind the velvet rope. But let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Anna Quincoces and Beba.
Hi.
And Beba.
Well,
Hi.
Beba's like Madonna and Cher. She is now.
Yeah, it's just one word.
Listen,
I feel like we said that last episode too, or
But
the last time we recorded.
we did, but here's the thing. Now you're being reflected on RHOM, and it just says Beba, by the way.
Oh, does it? I didn't even notice that.
I didn't even
That's
see my
funny.
name. I think I just closed my eyes through it. Can we make sure that this episode doesn't get on to Miami, please?
Listen, I never thought that we were just, I thought we were having a nice little talk. I didn't realize the entire thing was going to be about our podcast episode. And I kind of was sitting there and I'm like, did I just like cause all this drama by this podcast?
Sort of. You know what?
I
It's
don't
your
think, no, I
fault.
don't think so, because I'll tell you, first of all, they called me and asked me for your podcast, and I told them, fine. Little did I know that I was handing them an arsenal of many episodes that they pieced together, so that we could, I guess, prove their case. But they got that after we recorded. After we filmed, I just think that these girls looked at it, the ones who hadn't seen it looked at it again. And that's why they talked the way they did in their confessionals.
I mean, I don't know. I never expected it either, though. So there you are.
Yeah, for sure. I also think when we first did this podcast with you, we had just started ours. And we were like, you have a much bigger podcast. We were like, let's get on David Yontiv's podcast and like talk our shit. But I feel like I thought, at least, I don't know how you felt, Mommy, that, we could kind of say whatever we want. And like, yes, people would hear it, but it wouldn't be like this. And now
No,
it's like,
exactly.
Now
exactly,
I'm like backtracking. And I'm like, uh-oh, whoopsies.
That is absolutely true.
Listen, when you come on Behind the Velvet Rope, it is a real thing.
It's a real thing, Ben.
It's a real thing.
And being on Real Housewives of Miami is a real thing.
Also a real thing.
Very much a real thing. So
it is also a real thing. So I mean, I guess where I want to start is like, I mean, you were on the show now, Beba, too, but like Anna, like you have returned here. It's come and it's gone. I mean, I know you're coming back a little bit later in the season, but like, how do you feel about all of this? Because we didn't really expect all of this.
No, honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed in some of the stuff that didn't make it on, because I feel that the audience was let down. There was so much buildup, and then I could, it's not that I didn't deliver. For whatever reason, they decided, it's hard to know what Bravo deems too dark or too this or too fourth wall breaking or too whatever. I don't know. I've been in contact with the producers and told them, hey, why'd you leave this out? Why'd you do this? And, when you sign away, you have to understand that they were going to put it together in the way they think
that makes sense for
will
them.
Make the best show, or that follows the right. So I'm disappointed that the viewers are disappointed, but I also think of the flip side of that, and it could have been so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the stuff, I will acknowledge, is a little dark, and it was it was very, very hard, and that's why some people who know me well noticed that I had been I had this kind of deer in the headlights face, because I wanted to look alert and not like somebody that had spent the previous hour and a half crying. And it was because we discussed a lot of things even before. So by the time I left, I had already been in that room for over 2 hours. Never mind that I had been picked up an hour and a half before that and was driving around because Adriana was late. And when there was it made no sense at all. And there was nothing that I could contribute that would even be intelligible to anybody because of the screaming. I said, okay, I mean, I'm done here. I said what I came here to say and left, but nobody got to hear what I came there to say.
Well, we're going to talk about what you came there to say and what wasn't aired, because I have a lot of questions too. But before we even get there, like, you know, the whole reason your name was even brought onto the show was because of Adriana. So, you know, and in relation to like Todd and Alexia's finances. So I guess, how do you feel about Adriana like bringing your name onto the show? And what did you think you were going there that day to do? Like, did Adriana say like, let's go for a happy Mother's Day lunch? Like, where did you think you were headed?
You know,
That's a
do you
good
remember the
question.
Kool-Aid commercials? I was going to break through the wall like the big Kool-Aid thing, you know, splashing strawberry Kool-Aid everywhere, you know, with balance sheets in one hand and profit and losses on the other, saying,
yeah.
hey, Todd, you're broke. It's like, really? Like, come on. Who could think that I would do that? I didn't go
A lot of
there.
people think you could do that.
But do they? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
because I think what everyone is thinking that's watching it is like, then why were you there? Question mark,
Right,
question mark, question
right.
mark.
But I don't know. I just feel like the I don't know how somebody lives their lives, the amount of time, the things, the kind of work they've done. You look at that and you can't look at that in a vacuum. You got to be like, with this person that has done all this stuff, do this. She would go there for her own purposes, right? I mean, my reasons for being there were 100% selfish. So, Adriana, look, I understand they attack Adriana like nobody's business. And I believe the reason is because her and Marysol are both friends. And they're both close friends, because there was a time like when Marysol and I were friends in season 3, friends of, I barely appeared and she was like a full-time housewife because she interjects herself and makes sure that she's in every scene. But now Adriana's doing that too, and that's a thorn in her side. So she thinks it's me or her. So if they get rid of Adriana altogether, she has a
Marysol's
better
got a
chance of being a
chance.
housewife. So I believe that that's the whole thing. Again, I'm speculating, but knowing them, that sounds plausible. Adriana feels very alone, and I understand. I understand why she did it. She needed something and she wanted to scare people. I don't think even Adriana thought I was going to go there and talk about that.
But
I think
did
maybe
she tell you when she
No.
invited you or whatever, whoever invited you, was she like, you're a pawn in my scheme?
No, what she told me was, I want you to ride in with me in the car because they're going to freak out when they see you and I'm here for it. You know what I mean? That's what she wanted. And if that gave her a thrill, by the way, I told her, I don't think they're going to freak out because I show up, because all they'll do is ignore me or whatever. And by
Ignore
the
you.
way,
That
when I
is
say
not what they
they, I'm
did.
talking mostly about Marysol, because Alexia, you know, we're not best friends. But we've never really had, there's never been anything super ugly, which is why regardless of what I know, I would not come after her gratuitously to make her look like she's destitute. And I mean, it's just, why would I do that?
Mm.
So you're not mad at Adriana at all, like as Beba says, for being a pawn in her scheme.
Because you were. That's what she
I know,
did.
I know. Yeah, I didn't like it, but I don't think Adriana's a bad person. I really think that she's just a survivor